Okay. Now, in order to do this, you're going to need to set up a smeltery. Well, that actually is more advanced. But let me... Why does it look like it's night vision? What the hell? Oh, I have it set to cave. Derp. Okay, well, you're going to need to do some other stuff before you can set up the smeltery. Well, you don't have to do the other stuff. It's just one way you can do it. Now, there is a stencil table. Wait. I think it's just going to be easier for me to do this in creative mode. Tinker's construct blocks. So there are stencil tables, and they do match the 4 kinds of woods. So you can match it with the theme of your house, which is pretty cool. That's a nice touch. Tool station, not so much. But that's the base things that you're going to need for T construct. You just set it up here on my patio. You're also going to need a blank pattern, which is made with wood and sticks. Blank patterns can then be... Why is it... What the hell? What the frickin' balls? Why can't I open up the GUI for it? What the what? What the hell? Uh, uh, what the fuck is going on? Why is the, what the fuck? What the hell? Why is our uniform? I'll come back once I figure out what the hell is going on. Look at me, I'm wearing tin ore on my head. What the hell? Although that's pretty cool, though. I cannot deny. I think I'm gonna... Oy vey. I am wearing iron on my head, copper on my chest. I have tinfoil to protect my nuts, and then bones on my feet. This is so screwed up. Okay, I have it set back up. I had to reinstall everything, but I'm still wearing a shovel on my head. I don't know where that stuff came from. Okay. Where was I before I completely, started to freak out? Oh yes, blank patterns. Oh yes, you need a stencil table to turn your patterns into something, depending on what it is. Tool rods, large blades, large blades, and the larger stuff are reserved only for metal. These blank patterns are used for stuff that is non-metallic, like flint, paper, cactus. Yes, paper, cactus. Those, yeah. Let's just use a standard pickaxe and a standard tool rod. Now you're going to want your part builder. Tool rod. And then let's use flint, because I mentioned that before. So now I have a flint rod. I have a flint shard. I don't know what a flint shard is good for. I guess I can turn that into another tool rod. Now, this is only half of a flint. See, it says material cost 0.5. Meaning you only need half of a flint, so it gives you a flint shard. Flint pick head. Now you just go over to your tool station, click on what you want to make. Oh, I also need a binding. So you're going to want a tool binding pattern. Flint binding. Pickaxe. This thing only has 120 uses. Whoa! Spiderus! Ah! Retreat! Damn it. Now there are other things, if I can find the, seared bricks. Grout. Wanna cook up grout a bit more. Okay. Let me just get my armor back. This is part of an unrelated mod, but I still want my armor back. Steak. Okay. So that's the basic stuff. But there's a better way to do things. And that is with a smeltery. So for a smeltery, you're going to need a bunch of seared bricks and seared stuffs. So, seared brick, which is made using grout, which is sand, clay, and gravel. Then you're also going to need a smeltery controller, a smeltery drain, a lava tank, and then seared windows or seared glass. Doesn't matter which one. A casting table, seared faucet, and a casting basin if you want to make blocks. So, just gonna seared glass, seared faucet, smeltery drain, smeltery controller, and a lava tank. Now, I personally like the look of the fitted abyssal stone around it. That way you don't have to waste expensive seared bricks. It gives the same look, makes it look really nice. But that's just aesthetic, you don't need that. You're gonna want to make a 3x3. It doesn't have to be in the ground. You can make it above ground, but once again, That's just an aesthetic touch. Gonna need to make a wall around it. You don't need the corners. Smeltery controller, lava tank has to be on the same level as the smeltery controller. There. Then you can just put in another seared brick. And once it lights up, then it means you have a working smeltery. And as I said before, for aesthetic purposes, I'm just gonna place some of this stuff around. There you go. Seared glass. You can use seared bricks or seared windows for the sides. You're also going to need a smeltery drain. You're going to have to make sure that the large part is facing inwards with the small hole facing outwards. The abyssal stone is added by railcraft. So that's completely different. Okay, the next thing you're going to need in order to start your smeltery is some lava. About 4 buckets should do it into your basin. So, seared faucet there. Casting table. Okay, now you have your smeltery set up. So that's good to go. Now, only ores that are provided by Tinker's Construct will work. And the way you can tell whether or not they're Tinker's Construct is if they begin with 1740, or 1740, 1740, or however you want to say it. Those are Tinker's Construct ores. And once again, if you want them to generate in your world, if you want the tin and copper Tinker's Construct ores to generate, you're going to have to go into the config file and change it so they generate. They will generate at a lower level than the industrial craft ores will. Let's see, zinc, promethium, mithril won't work. Vanilla ores such as gold and iron will. If you want to use ores that aren't from Tinker's Construct in the smeltery in order to make alloys, you can just simply melt them down into ingots. Like, I could cook this into ingots, then melt those ingots in the smeltery. But a smeltery will function similar to a macerator and furnace. It will double the output of whatever you put in. Oh, any sort of gravel ores are also Tinker's Construct ore stuffs. Okay, so we're now ready to get cooking. But another thing, once you create your first seared brick, you're going to get a book called Mighty Smelting, which will guide you through the setup of it. It'll give you alloys and stuff, tell you how to set it up. Okay, you're going to want to use gold or brass, as it says, to create a casting. So let's just melt this stuff up. Okay, you may have noticed that there were gold blocks in the thing. Those are not actually there. If you jump on them, you will just fall to the bottom of the smeltery because they're just entities. So, once you have it melted down, you can pour it into the casting table. Wait for it to harden. and you get a blank cast. Now you can go to your stencil table. Once again, make it into whatever you want. So here we have an ingot cast in this case. Or you can make something like a large blade or a broad shovel. So make a large blade. Now if it doesn't pour, that's because you can't make it out of that material. See, it pours into the ingot quite nicely. And you can just do this to get rid of your stuff. Or, if you want to do it a bit quicker, you can use a casting basin. Ugh, I can't speak for some reason. Which will make blocks. Now, one thing you have to be careful of is if you do not have enough metal left in here to make whatever it is you're making, it will just pour in there and then it'll be unfinished and you'll have to melt down more. And harden. Now, I think I still have enough gold to make one more block, and then I'll have to switch over to ingots. There we go.